We're gonna watch Gary wrap this. So this is putting a sardine wrap on a quick fish. Quick fish is a certain kind of a lure. It's a plug, a diver that we use. Kind of bounces up and down through the different levels of water.
This one's actually a magnet.
Oh, Gary got the oddball brand.
No, I like them. It's the same
so
idea.
You just take this sardine and you put it on the plug, and then you wrap it with this really fine thread. Tie it on there a few times, but the way that sardine is on there causes that plug to swim differently. If it's not on there straight or level, if you get too much meat on one side or the other, then it won't dive properly. So, of course, if it's a mag lip, it probably doesn't dive properly anyways, but.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's a quick fish there.
It's a little bit different.
Just
like
a little different.
Fish.
And they come in different sizes. And then what happens is you get a variety of colors. Never knowing what the fish are going to be biting on that day. Yeah, so depending on what the fish are biting on that day, you won't really know. You try a variety of different colors, trying to pick one that's, and then you'll find that the fish are hitting one more than the other. And then you wish you had several of that one.
You break them.
Last year we found the one good color that was working good, and we broke 3 of them. All right.
One day. You ready?
So there's a counter on this fishing rod. It tells you how far out it's going. There's 10 feet. I don't know if you can see that. It's 20. So we're gonna let this side out to 40 feet. And then Gary's gonna, what we call long line me. He's gonna run his plug out further. There's 40 feet right there.
I just want the fish to hit mine first.
Yeah, that way when the fish are swimming up the river, they'll find Gary's plug first.
Yeah.
But you can see here the rod holder holds the rod, and this one shoots off the side. I just got to use my phone for a light. Shoots off the side, and then we got one up here that'll shoot straight out the back. So if you got 4 people fishing, you can get 2 lines straight off the back and 2 off the side. Usually these ones on the side you'll run at like a 10 foot, and then these ones off the back are usually 9.5 or 9 foot. And that way, the ones on the side they push the rod out further, and you can imagine the fish coming up the stream would see 4 lines in the water spaced apart about evenly, unless one guy runs his long line and puts his out further than everybody else.
That's me.
Oh, so the sun's finally come up enough that we can see what's going on. We got Gary here, the elusive Gary. And fishing for silvers is much more of a social event. You just kind of sit in the boat and chit-chat, and drink hot chocolate, eat Milano's cookies, and watch your rods. So here, what you see how that rod is kind of bouncing? Let's get up there close where you can see it. And see how the tip of that bounces? Let's see if I can get a good angle. See how it kind of bounces? That's from that plug in the water. And it's diving up and down, and it's kind of bouncing along. Here's Gary's over here. So you're looking for a fishing rod that's going to be sensitive enough to give you that twitch on the end, but strong enough to pull in a, I don't know, what do you think, 10, 12 pound silver?
Yeah, probably.
So we'll just sit and watch those rods twitch. And if you watch them long enough, you get to a point where you can see if something gets caught on your line. It just doesn't swim right. The twitch is a little bit different. Sometimes that plug will it'll come up to the surface, and then it doesn't twitch anymore. It just sits flat. so you know your line has come up. And then when a fish hits it, it'll bounce much harder, and you know, hey, you got a fish on. So it's got to set the hook, and then we got this whole procedure we go through from that. But this is kind of like grumpy old man fishing, isn't it? I would say grumpy old man.
You know, you had it right. You are the grumpy old man.
Grumpy old man. You just got to figure out which one is the grumpy one. But yeah, this is silver fishing. You just find a good spot. We got anchor dropped out. You want to set your oh, there we go. There we go. Got one on.
Okay, ready?
Yep. It's all right. Just moving out of the way. So now Gary's going to drop us off of the anchor ball. Drop us off the anchor, and you'll see the ball. We'll take a look at that when I come back here. But what that allows us to do is drift with the river, so you're not fighting the fish and the current all at the same time. Drag's set pretty tight. I think it's just a pink.
Here, I'll get it.
You just want to keep the rod bent. Is it silver? I'm trying to keep it out of the motor. Boy, they just want to go right into the motor, don't they? He's over here. He's over here. I'm trying. There we go.
Yeah, there's your silver. You're probably about 6-7 pounder.
Do you want to keep him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you don't want to.
So there we go. That's how it's done. Now, if you look out here, you see our anchor ball. We'll go out and pick that ball up. And that way you don't have to set your anchor each time. Don't hit the plug, Gary.
Huh?
Don't hit the plug.
He already lost the plug.
Gary likes to bonk the fish before he gills them. Yeah, so what Gary's explaining is that as you come back, as you approach back to your anchor ball, you want to come in from the side. You don't drive right through your fishing hole. Yep. That's it. You got a loop on your anchor here. And so now the anchor is already set, and that puts us right back in the exact same spot we were in before. The depth of the water that your rods or your plugs are in is important. So yeah, that gets us back to our same spot. Gary's back in the water as quick as possible. Usually these fish kind of run in, I won't say schools, but they run together. So when you get a fish on, you want to get back in the water as quick as you can.
Not a huge one, but he's a silver.
Yeah.
Good job.
See if we can get that plug out of there. On a mag lip too.
Yep. I started thinking that they're almost better than the other ones.
Oh, you got a treble hook there.
Yeah, that one's got the treble on it. Can you grab that?
Yeah. Little casualty of the heater there. All right, that's back in his place.
Yeah, if you don't get anything for a little while on that, we'll put a new fresh piece of bait on it.
Right.
But it'll probably be okay.
So the silver salmon generally shed their scales pretty easily. They just kind of fall off. You can see him in the mat here. There he is. And that's silver fishing. You're just watching that plug, see how it's kind of bouncing. And then when it goes boom, 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 then that's a fish on. Right now, the pink salmon run every 2 years, and the pink salmon are in this year. And there's usually a lot of pink salmon, so it's kind of unique that we caught a silver right off the bat.
We haven't caught pink yet, so
yeah.
Hey guys, I am headed off to Seattle for some travel for work, and I am probably not going to be in the video this week aside from this because I've got a conference to go to, and so I am going to entrust my home and maybe Brian and definitely Izzy Dog to our friend Gary, our good friend Gary, who has graciously agreed to come and take care of the Izzy Dog. He's going to come over and make sure she's got food and water and give her a little bit of love and snuggles while we're gone. So thank you, Gary, for doing that. So anyway, I am off to the airport, going to go to Seattle where there's rain on the forecast, hoping that I'm not actually going to get that much rain, but we will see. I'm not sure if I'm going to get any video while I'm there. I've got a pretty packed schedule, but I will see what I can do. In the meantime, I'm going to pitch it over to Brian and see what he's got hopping over there. I will see you back in a couple of days, and hopefully the house and the dog are still standing when I get back. So thank you very much, Gary. Appreciate your help, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, everyone.
Log. Get around them. Just got to watch for logs rolling down the, floating down the river. Make sure they don't tie up your line. So you run the plug for a while with your sardine wrap on there. After a while though, the water just running past that thing, it kind of takes all the oils out of the bait. And a big part of this is scent going downstream. You know, the fish smell that in the water and follow it to wherever it's coming from. Kind of like when your neighbor's barbecuing. So if your bait sits in the water too long, it just strips it of all that scent and all the oils, and then it's just kind of a flabby piece of meat floating around out there. So if you're fishing for a while and nothing's happening, you switch it out, put a new piece of bait on, or just switch your plug. Gary had some salad on his. You know, the stuff that's floating down the river eventually gathers onto the string and floats down to your plug. It makes it swim a little differently. These are just things you're doing. The rods kind of bounce a little differently. These are the same rod, same length, same manufacturer, everything, but this one bounces a little different because he's running a quick fish on this one, and this one's got what they call a mag lip. Different manufacturer, similar type plugs, but yeah. And that's what you do. You just sit in the boat and hope you have enough hot drinks and snacks, and what you really want is good company.
I haven't been able to find any though.
Yeah.
Grab a cookie and a drink, and then look out because the fish are there.
So silver season here hits about September. You can pick them up mid-August maybe, but it really turns on September. Yeah, by the time October hits, it starts to get pretty darn cold out. But you can see that fall is in the air, the wind is starting to blow. It's cooling off. We got the wind at our back right now. And luckily we got a hoodie to keep the wind from freezing us. Gary seems to be immune. I think he's void of all feeling, physical and emotional feeling.
Mainly emotional.
Mainly emotional. He's emotionally void.
Yeah. I do have a hoodie. So.
He's quite the...
I got a face thing that goes with it.
Now, yeah, you're talking. You do have a nice new smile, Gary. It's good to see you smile.
Yeehaw!
You remember when we cured the salmon eggs? That's what this was for. So Gary's given up on the plug.
Not really.
Yeah, he's trying something different. He's going to put some eggs on and see if they're hitting eggs. But these would be similar to the eggs that we cured. Of course, these are Gary's eggs, so they're probably not cured correctly. But, the fish might not be able to tell.
You can make people think that all you want. Gary is the champion egg curer.
Gary's the champion of everything. There it is. Here we go. Let's see how he does. And again, the same concept is the scent. So these eggs now have that scent cure scent in them. And if you
I'm just bouncing it back on the bottom bouncing.
Just bouncing them off the bottom. He's gonna. Oh, look at that, huh?
Right off the bat.
Right, look at that. You want to drop off the ball?
Well, he's going crazy.
All right. Look at that. Very good, Gary.
He's already up here, so.
All right. Let me get mine out of the way.
Yeah, I told him he hit it on the way out.
Salmon, or think you got a trout? Look at him go. Nice. Yeah. Let me get this up out of your way.
We have more.
Yeah. I'll get the net for you.
Just slide it over so I can.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm going to go up into the front.
All right. All right. Whoops. Gary's knocking things over. It's no big deal. It won't leak. Well, that's the fun part of it. Just enjoy the fun part. Nice job, Gary. Trying to keep that away from the heater. I don't know if it's still warm. I don't want it to melt your net. That's a good sized fish right there. Gary likes to bonk his fish before he gills them. I, on the other hand, like to gill them and then bonk them. Now this guy's got a big cut in his belly.
Probably from a seal.
Seal, maybe? Look at that, nice sized fish. That's a nice fish. Just like that, you just change something up. Trying eggs, and evidently, maybe Gary's eggs do work.
Well, he might be. Maybe.
Get you?
That might just be his blood, too. Want to reel this one in?
No, you got it. Put my heater out of the way. You want to drop off, and you got it.
No, let's just do the same thing we did before.
All right. Looks like Gary's got another fish. I'm gonna put that right there and see if we can catch Gary catching the fish.
There's been a bunch of pinks back here behind us.
Yeah. Yeah. Good looking fish. Good job, Gary.
All right.
Yeah, nice fat fish. Gary used to fish here for how many years, Gary?
40.
40 years. Gary come here on vacation every year to go fishing. Don't drop that. So for 40 years, Gary would come here every fall to go fishing. And he said when he retired, he was gonna move up here. And so I think about a week after he retired, he got in his truck and drove up here and moved up here so that he could come and fish and catch silver salmon. So the other 11 months out of the year, he watches a lot of TV, and we try to get him out of the house. But this is basically Gary's what he lives for. So when a fish comes on, it's kind of like I don't need to catch it, Gary. You go ahead.
Yeah, but I don't really care if I catch them. I just like fishing for silvers, and I don't care who catches them. As long as we catch fish.
thank you so much for watching. We do appreciate it. If you'd like and subscribe and click all those buttons, tell your friends. We will see you next week. Thank you again. Well, that's Fishing for Silvers with Gary. We got 3. And I don't know, it's about 10 o'clock. A couple hours out on the water. It's pretty relaxing. That's it. See you next time.